Hey crew, I just recently had my windshield on the Jeep replaced, and I have a rack and a light bar on there, and when replacing the windshield I had to um, remove the rack or raise the rack out of the way to get the to the windshield, and in doing so, because of my light bar across there, I did not have a connector on the wiring, so I had to cut the wiring in order to raise the rack out of the way. So what I'm going to do today is install a waterproof connector on the wiring, and this is the little connector I got, and I'm just going to show y'all basically how to install it. It's pretty simple, straightforward task, but just in case you didn't know, I was just going to show you how to install them. Okay, as you can see here, this is where I had to have the wire cut so that I could raise the roof rack, because it had to unbolt right here, and this whole section had to lift out of the way in order to be able to get to the windshield. On my spotlights here, I have the weather tight connector, but when I wired this up, I didn't put one on there. So I'm gonna go ahead and since I got to redo this anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and put a watertight or weatherproof connector on here. Okay, this is pretty much all we're going to need to do this. I bought these waterproof connectors off of Amazon, and I can put a link below if you're interested in getting any of those. And of course, I didn't have these crimpers, but I had other tools, so I bought this pair of crimpers off Amazon as well. And this is the little, like I said before, this is the connector. These are your male and female wire connectors there that are going to be installed into this, and should be quick and easy. Okay, first thing we got to do is go ahead and cut these pieces off and strip back this wire. I'll go ahead and cut that off. I already got this to where it's the insulation on it was already cut, so I'll trim it back to that point where it was cut, and just do this other one. Alright, so there you go there. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna slide these grommets over them. Okay, I already have the one installed, but let me show you how easy they are to put on there. Once you slide this the grommet on there, basically you're gonna just line up grommet. It's gonna line up with that back section, and then take your little crimpers, go there, and then take this, twirl it around a little bit. This number 2, squeeze down on it really good and tight, and that crimps up against your wire there. So then you got your rubber grommet crimped on there and your wire crimped in there. Now you could, if you wanted to, go back and put some solder on there just to make sure you got a real good connection. I'm gonna see how these work like this, and if necessary, I'll go back and solder them on. Okay, the next step is to install the male connector, the wires into the male connector. And then what we need to do is this section right here just flips back. So pull it out to get it past that tab on both sides, like that. Let's see. And it just pop right back up in there, and it's done. Now this will slide down, especially when you insert it into the female connector, and there's your connector. Okay, now all we have to do is go ahead and install the female connector. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and clip these connectors off that were on here already. Which reason I'm cutting it short like I am is because there is a cut in the insulation on these wires. So I'm going to go ahead and shorten them up a bit, and then we just got to strip them back. Go ahead and put these, I don't know what you want to call, little wire boots, insulating boots, or waterproofing. Get them on the wire. Okay, we have the wires cut, stripped back, and these rubber seals put on. So the next thing we're going to need to do is add the female connectors. Just crimp it just like that. Gets it tight onto the rubber seal, and then what I want to do is turn it. Crimp onto that wire. It's got two spots here we can crimp. So crimp good on that wire. There we go. And then we just repeat for the other one. And the connectors are installed. Okay, when you're putting your connector on, go ahead and make sure that when you're doing it, that you're going to have your positive and your negative on the same side. So what we're going to do, see, this is going to slide up into here and connect like that. So you want to put your positive on this side, negative flipped up, and then basically she's ready, done. So that's basically the installation of a waterproof connector. Not a whole lot to it. I'll go ahead and trim that back and tuck everything back up the way it was, and that's pretty much it. Like I said, I'll put a link in the description for these connectors and the crimping tool that I bought and so forth. But it's pretty straightforward, easy to do. I'm actually going to probably change out some of my other lights that I have on the Jeep to this connector. All of them have the watertight connector, but I like the way this one works, and I am going to be changing out some of the lights on here, maybe adding some more. And yes, by the way, I do have lockers, so lights and lockers, just in case you were wondering. So okay guys, any questions, just put a comment below, and I'll be happy to answer them for you. Until next time.